welcome to Fearless Friday. My name is Joy Restoven, and I'm the Executive Director at Survive It. I know a lot of people, they're so overwhelmed by the thought of even talking about clinical trial options, and they don't know how to make sure that they've reviewed all of their treatment options. And we believe that many times a clinical trial should be considered as one of your treatment options as part of the overall strategy. And so today we have Harry Buckman from Massive Bio joining us to talk about this new resource. Welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
So let's talk about first and foremost, a lot of patients just assume that their local oncologist has got it. They don't really need to be involved to this detail. So can you talk a little bit about why a clinical trial matching service is even necessary in the world of oncology today?
Less than 3% of all cancer patients are enrolled in a clinical trial, right? So we have literally thousands of new trials. Right now in the United States alone, there are more than 11,000 clinical trials for cancer, right? And they're disease specific, and even more that they're tumor profile specific now. So if you don't know all of your options, how do you make an informed decision? So we don't say that a clinical trial is right or is not right for you. We simply advocate you should know all of your options, because then you are empowered and it's a choice. But if you don't know everything, if that little thought in the back of your mind is this really all? That's telling you something, right? Many times doctors don't discuss clinical trials because either A, they don't know about them. They don't have time to read all the latest research that's going on, let alone all the 11,000 trials that are going on, to figure out which one might be right for you. And they think we're going to go with the standard of care until something fails, and then 2 or 3 steps into it, look down the road. The problem with that is, before trials used to be, if nothing else works, we're going to try something. But today, with understanding the molecular profile of tumors and how we're decoding what's behind cancer, what's driving this thing to grow out of control, and we're learning there are more than 400 different abnormalities that we know today, and by the time today is published on your website, there might be 500 that are known. That's how fast we're finding these things. If we can find there is a genomic abnormality that is driving your cancer, and now there's a new treatment to target that very specific thing, you should know about that up front. What we're also finding is less than half the patients in the country even have a molecular profile test done at all. What we're doing is trying to pull back all that layers of an onion and figure out, has the patient had the testing? What's the right testing to have? And then based on that evidence, what are all their options? So we're not just giving them a list of trials and saying, here's a piece of paper, good luck. We're actually walking the patient through and helping them make decisions based on what's valuable to them, how close these are to their home, what status of enrollment they are there any early success indicators coming out of those trials that the patient should know about, even something as simple as, hey, there's multiple sites who are giving this trial. Which one should I choose? If I can go to 2 or 3, which one might make sense for me, right? So our service helps them uncode all of those things and make it actionable to them.
So I want to talk about the process and what this actually looks like. So I'm assuming most people that find us today are currently on a therapy and have not yet had a qualified second opinion, or they've never even thought about clinical trials. So what does that process look like? Well, we're going to put the link to access this new tool below, but what happens once they submit their information?
That's a great question. So what happens is they submit the information, it comes into our contact center here at Massive Bio. They'll be connected with a patient advocate who is somebody who deeply understands how to help a patient navigate the healthcare system. Many of our patient advocates have a very personal experience with cancer or are cancer survivors themselves, so they get it. And then we'll just have a conversation about really what's going on. From there, we'll send them out forms. We will gather all their medical records. They'll have to sign a HIPAA release form. So we'll get the records. They'll tell us also where they've been. And also the third form, our system is called Synergy AI. Our clinical trial matching system is in and of itself its own registered clinical trial. And the simple reason for that is we have been so successful in helping patients find treatment options. On average, we have helped more than 12% of patients that we talk to find clinical trial options. The average enrollment rate in the country, like we said, is 1%. Some of the best hospitals do it 3-4%. So we're trying to prove that our way of looking at everything, not just, only a subset of trials, is a better way to help people understand their options. Let them know everything, and the patients will help drive things forward. And from there, we will call their providers. We will get their medical records, like their laboratory, their pathology, their history and physical reports, all those things. And then we'll put them into our Synergy AI system that will go through, we'll read all their medical records and then match them based on all that we know. So we're helping the patients understand, are you a full match for this trial? Are you a partial match for this trial? What does that mean to you? Maybe it's simply you haven't had the right genomic testing. Maybe it's you're in the middle of radiation, you need to complete radiation, to do that, or you haven't failed this therapy before you go into that trial. So we're giving them a very specific roadmap. And then we're going to help them decide if one is a really good option, how do you pursue that? What's the contact information of that investigator at that local facility? How do you get in touch with them? And then we are the patient advocates. If they're saying, hey, Massive Bio, I really like that. How do I learn more? How do I perhaps go to be enrolled? We will be a bridge between them and the local facility that's offering that trial. We will get them in contact. We will help make sure their medical records are over there and get them that appointment. So really we do this pre-screening that really helps them understand at a very detailed level, should they even look at this. But then they really have to meet with that doctor and that care team on the ground to finalize everything.
The bottom line here is this clinical trial matching tool is used so that you get the peace of mind that you have checked every box and you understand everything that's possibly out there that could be a treatment option for you or your loved one.
85% of patients are treated by the local community oncologists, and they're wonderful people. They went to probably some great places to learn. But in the real world, when they're seeing 30, 40, 50 patients a day, all different disease types, it's easy to get lost of what's really important. Many of them don't even understand the importance of genomic testing. So many of them think it's really only for breast or lung or colon, and it's not.
And so that's why Survive It exists. We want to help you navigate to people like Massive Bio so that you fully understand your options. And sometimes clinical trials could be a very good option for you to consider. Well, thank you so much for being here. Again, if you have any doubt in your mind that you have not looked under every stone to make sure that you are getting the very best treatment possible, then we highly recommend you use Massive Bio's clinical trial matching tool, which is available now on surviveit.org, and again in the link below. So thank you, Harry, for being here. Thank you guys for all that you're doing.
Yeah, there's a thrill to partner with Survive It on this important initiative.
Thanks again. If we can help you or your loved one in any way, always feel free to reach out to us at info@surviveit.org. Until next time, stay strong and live fearless.